We tip off the 2013 high school basketball season at Clearwater High School. The Tornadoes host the Hurricanes of Gainesville in the consolation game of the Brighthouse Sports Network Holiday Tournament presented by Subway Restaurants. Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining us alongside former Tampa Prep and USF star Andrick Frazier. I'm Drew. Andrick, Clearwater and Gainesville have quite a history. They met for a state championship back in 2009, but more importantly, they ended last season both on pretty good notes.
Well, these are two teams that really would like to go much further than they did last year. Clearwater disappointed, not making the state playoffs for the first time in 7 years, but both of these teams have an opportunity to get on the winning track tonight.
Let's take a look at some of the players now. For Gainesville, there's Isaiah Jackson. His presence is critical in the Gainesville lineup.
At 6'6", Drew, this is a guard that is a very hard matchup, not only at the high school level, but even at the Division I level. His ability to shoot the basketball, score, and distribute several triple-doubles so far this season.
They're going to have to hit the boards tonight and fly on Kevin Boland to get it done.
You know, Kevin Boland's a force inside the paint for Gainesville. His ability to score and command the glass is going to be paramount for them to come out with a victory today.
Andrick, this is a very physical Clearwater team, not like Clearwater teams of the past. A lot of these guys are football players. Rasim Ahmed is one of those.
We used to see Tornadoes with a lot of height and a lot of finesse. Different ball club this year, Drew. They're going to really want to grit it out, and this is a person they're going to depend on heavily tonight to battle on the glass.
And then running the point, the coach's son, Cody Carden. It always seems like there's a Carden in the lineup.
The third revision we've seen so far, Drew, since I've been a part of this broadcast for BHSN. He is just like his brothers. He's a ball kid, knows the game very well. Outstanding point guard.
All right, so Gainesville and Clearwater playing for third place in this holiday tournament. We'll have the tip-off from Clearwater High School coming up next.
The Brighthouse Sports Network Game of the Week is presented by Subway Restaurants. December is Customer Appreciation Month at Subway Restaurants. Get a regular 6-inch meatball marinara or regular 6-inch cold cut combo for only $2 each. Subway, eat fresh.
So here we are, Jack Hill Wilson Gymnasium. Two teams with 7 wins on the year, Gainesville and Clearwater. There's the Hurricane, the purple, and the white. Clearwater in the familiar gray and the red. Andrick, both of these teams would rather be playing for a championship in this tournament, but still two quality clubs that feel they can accomplish a lot here tonight.
You know, this is always a tournament, Drew, that has its share of surprises, and I think this year, you know, Clearwater has some rebuilding they need to do. They're trying to get a little better. And also when you have additions from the football team, which they really haven't had a lot in the past, it takes a while to get things, you know, to gel as far as a ball club. So both of these teams are happy to be where they are today. Most importantly, you want to come out of here with 2 wins instead of 2 losses.
All right, let's take a look at the starting lineups here with Isaiah Jackson leading the way for Gainesville. Ike Smith is only a sophomore. And Austin Graham, Mark McGraw, and Kevin Boland, the junior. Ike Smith second on the team in scoring just over 12 points a game. And for Clearwater, Ryan Ramirez having a pretty good year for Clearwater, but Coach Carden expects him to do even more as we get set to head down the stretch. Schaefer Sandy, Armin Tabakovic, and Rasim Ahmed also in the front court. Take a look at Isaiah Jackson. Curious to see what 44 brings to the court. Andrick, he is thrilled just to be playing here tonight, healthy and nearly 100%. Coach Alan Carden still trying to figure out this Clearwater team, and that's what the holidays are for, Andrick. When you're playing basketball, when you're coaching basketball, chance to play in tournaments and kind of fine-tune your product before you start to make that second half run.
You know, the largest product of these tournaments and what you want to get out of it is how is your team going to play in a championship format. You know, you have an opportunity to win a championship. You have to win a couple of games in a row. You simulate what you're going to find in districts.
First shot from the corner, and it's no good. Taken down by Cody Carden. Tornadoes will work it down inside, and a foul is going to be called, as Gainesville's Mark McGraw is going to get whistled. As you take a look at Kelly Beckham, over 600 career wins for Gainesville. Over 500 of those happened at his previous stop, Bronson High School. So Carden works it inside. Here's Tabakovic.
Gainesville doing a good job communicating the man-to-man defense. They're doing a lot of sagging. It'd be very difficult to beat their men off the dribble without a little help on some screens.
Tornadoes showing good patience on this opening possession. Taking care of the basketball, Landrick. It's been something that the Tornadoes have not always done well this year.
Well, it just comes with a little bit of practice, and looks like they're moving the basketball very well. Crisp passes, again, not forcing up a shot, waiting to get an open look.
Tabakovic fakes, kicks it back out. Schaefer Sandy will reset. This is the longest opening possession I think we've seen in a high school basketball game, Andrick.
Well, these are two teams that are very well coached, and they're not going to let the bright light scare them. They want to make sure they get a good shot. No jitters here.
Inside, a little bit too strong as Ahmed couldn't hit it. And here comes Isaiah Jackson. Hurricanes take it on up, and they're going to draw a foul. So going to the line is going to be Mark McGraw, and he'll shoot two.
Mark McGraw here just being patient and attacking the basket, catching the Tornadoes flat-footed on defense. A good job in attempting to slide over and take the charge by Schaefer. Just a little too far underneath the basket.
Mark McGraw, 6'4". And Andrew, kind of funny when Coach Beckham was describing McGraw's game. He said, McGraw is kind of an old man's game. It's not always pretty. His jump shot is kind of a set shot.
He really has good size. He has the ability to shoot the basketball. He's not overly athletic. You know, again, just an opportunity to get to where he wants to on the floor, takes the shots he needs. When you have a player like Isaiah Jackson setting the table, you can afford to have an old man's game.
This Clearwater basketball program, what tradition? 44 postseasons. Stayed back in 1981, good backdoor move. And scoring was Ryan Ramirez, and the Tornadoes on the board.
Well, Ramirez just taking an opportunity there to catch Jackson standing straight up on the defensive end. Good backdoor execution.
Austin Graham tried to go baseline. It's knocked out. Isaiah Jackson, and he knocks down the three.
You cannot give that young man room and space. He'll make you pay every time.
And now the Hurricanes start to step it up a little bit defensively. Jackson going to be whistled for the foul as he lunged in on Ryan Ramirez.
Ramirez doing a great job of using the shot fake. But here Jackson just with room and space, and McGraw coming up with the offensive rebound. And Jackson showing he can get it done from 19 feet and beyond.
Tornadoes can't put it in. Here we come the other way, Ike Smith. And that's a charge. A good job of getting position by Ryan Ramirez.
Ike Smith coming down the break, has to come to a jump stop. You can see his coach trying to demonstrate it. Come to a jump stop under control to pitch out.
This Clearwater team's lost 5 of their past 7 games. So it's been a tough stretch over the last few weeks. Long shot by Carton. Boy, that was a bomb, and it was just off. Kevin Bolin high up for the board.
Here we have Tornadoes sitting back in the zone. Active 2-3.
Ike Smith. No foul called there. Austin Graham comes down with it. Canes look to reset. Jackson wants it again. That's money.
Isaiah Jackson is a good-looking player, extremely unselfish. I mean, typically when you have a kid that is as skilled as he is in high school, they really want to try to force the issue. But as you can see by watching him play so far in the first quarter, allowing himself to get into the flow of the offense.
There's Coach Beckham you saw. Isaiah Jackson, known as probably the best player in all the Gainesville area this year. Carton can't hit for 2 to start the game.
Clearwater doing a good job of doing the little things. Seen them take a charge so far. They're also attacking the offensive glass.
Long shot by Tabakovic. He can't hit.
Again on the offensive glass.
That's Rasim Ahmed, the player we talked about in the open, the starting tight end on the football team. Whip pass inside, a little bit short. Tornadoes able to defend. Cody Carden. Really a two-guard naturally, Andrick, and he is playing the point here tonight. Nice backdoor. Ryan Ramirez read Carden, and Carden fed him perfectly.
Tornadoes really making Gainesville pay every time they get up out of a stance with all eyes on the basketball. You have to be in a defensive position to see ball you man. If not, they're going to make you pay with the backdoor cuts.
From the corner, left wide open, can't hit. But able to put it right back in is Kevin Bolin.
Talked about Bolin's ability to get on the glass, and there you can see it paying off on that possession.
Right back up with it, and Schaefer Sandy. And another football player in the lineup for the Tornadoes. Tornadoes will shoot one.
Well, we had a Hurricane Sandy that came through earlier, and here you have a tornado crashing right into your living room. Schaefer Sandy using that body, showing you his good hands, coming up with the offensive board and the putback.
Schaefer Sandy, such a big boy, just played football, Andrick, for the first time this fall. And didn't come away scot-free. Had a few injuries out of it, most namely a groin injury that he is still trying to nurse, and that is not an easy injury to get over.
Not enough injuries can be nagging, especially in a sport where you have to be quick on your feet and do a lot of cutting. A little full court pressure. 1-2-1-1 by the Tornadoes.
So Sandy and Carden go to the bench, and Anthony White checks in for the Tornadoes. Also Derek Calloway in the game right now, number 33. Top of the key, Jackson. He ain't gonna miss. If they keep leaving him open like that, he's got 9.
Jackson is just stepping into that three-point shot and shooting it like a free throw.
That's the third assist for Mark McGraw. So the McGraw-Jackson combo making it happen here in the first quarter. Jordan Leston handling the basketball. Clearwater traditionally likes to play pretty much everybody in their rotation. Punch it down to Ahmed. He passed it off. Justice Reed couldn't hit. Hurricanes the other way. And it's going to go over to Clearwater.
Gainesville's having a couple opportunities to get some fast break buckets, but Tornadoes doing a great job of getting back on defense, getting to the paint and locating men, an opportunity to get some hands on some balls, preventing the easy buckets.
So Anthony White with the basketball for the Tornadoes. Just a ball of energy in this lineup. White tried to penetrate, then lost it.
Just look at the size differential on the floor here for Gainesville. And the size they have on the floor are guys that can actually get out and run.
Callaway missed. Jackson on the board. 6'6", Isaiah Jackson. He handles that ball, Andrick, and knocks it down from the top of the key. That's a tough matchup for a guy that tall.
And watching this kid play, it's amazing. You know, first of all, he's coming back, you know, from the injury he sustained last year. But you can imagine once he gets fully healthy, you know, gets that athletic ability back. I mean, he's still missing a little bit of his explosion, you know, but because he has the ability to handle the basketball at 6'6", can see over a lot of the defenders that are trying to guard him. Great body control.
9 points for Jackson. They swing it. Henderson passing it off. Oh, good defense. McCray tries to take it back up, and Mike McCray scores.
Gainesville sticking with it on that possession, not giving up after the blocked shot.
Clearwater a little bit out of their game right now, Andrick. Isaiah Jackson ahead to his teammate Mike McCray, and he's going to be fouled. Tornadoes scrambling just a bit.
You know, Isaiah Jackson really is about 5 steps ahead of everyone else here on the floor. And I'm not talking speed, but just the way he thinks. He comes up ball still on the other end, and full court bounce pass delivered on a dime to Mike McCray.
Mike McCray, very athletic guard for Gainesville, and the substitutions come right back. You saw when Cody Carden went out of the game for Clearwater, things just kind of came a little bit unraveled there. And Andrew, I don't know if you've ever had to do this before, but he's a shooting guard playing point guard. Did you ever at point guard have to play shooting guard back in the day?
Play wherever coach wanted me to play. The one thing in high school is, coaches really want to put their best 5 on the floor at all times. I mean, and the more skilled you are as a high school player, the more positions you understand as far as where you need to be offensively, knowing plays from the 1 through the 5, you'll get more playing time. And anytime you have a person that has the basketball IQ, as high as Carden, it's going to give him an advantage on the floor, whether he's playing the 1, the 2, the 3, or the 4.
Tornadoes got to get a shot off here. Ramirez, not the look he wanted. Back up with it. It's Schaefer Sandy, and that's how we'll end the first quarter. So Sandy puts it in, and it's a 6-point deficit for the Tornado as we end quarter number 1. Gainesville and Clearwater, 16-10. We're back with more from Jack Wilson Gymnasium right after this. Drew Felios, Andrick Frazier here at the Brighthouse Sports Network Holiday Tournament for 2012, the consolation game, Clearwater and Gainesville. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Tornadoes. The Northeast Holiday Tournament is coming up next week, and then you got Wharton Countryside and Seminole. That Wharton game, Andrick, will be televised by Brighthouse Sports Network, so we'll be there.
Coach Tommy Tonelli, fantastic job with the Wharton Wildcats, one of the premier programs in Hillsborough County, and it's always fun when we get the little Pinellas-Hillsborough rivalry renewed.
You talk about a team good year after year, those Wharton Wildcats. Coach Tonelli knows how to do it up. Leston couldn't get it to go off the glass. Tornadoes able to keep it alive. Ahmed, little short jumper. Tough going right now for Clearwater in the interior. Good ball movement. From 15 feet, that jumper no good, and Sandy comes away with a board, and he's going to draw a foul.
Clearwater's doing a great job really of pushing Gainesville out on the floor with the 2-3 zone. They're right there pretty much on every catch. Gainesville's going to have to do a good job of some dribble penetration in the gaps, especially at the elbows. Not settling for jump shots.
Nice finish. Ryan Ramirez, he's got 6 points.
The wheel cut has seemed to work every time from Clearwater. Gainesville's going to have to get up in the passing lanes. Trailing on that screen is going to allow for curling opportunities.
Penetration, Ike Smith, too strong. Jackson. Smith lays it off to him. That's no good. Both teams getting very good looks, but having a hard time finishing. Sandy rejected. Leston again off the glass. So the quarterback of the football team gets his first 2. And now right back, Mike McCray.
Clearwater's in this ball game right now because they're winning the battle of the hustle plays.
Oh, again. Jordan Leston, just a sophomore. Somebody that Coach Carden wants more consistency from. McCray right back, couldn't hit. Right now, Cody Carden. Ahmed had it wide open and traveled. Our officials tonight, Steve Banks, A.C. Blevins, and Lewis Trice.
And think Clearwater have an opportunity when they have a dead ball. They want to set up in the 1-2-1-1 press. Gainesville's going to have to use ball fakes and look up the floor. Like to see Jackson get the ball in his hands with his size and ability to see over the zone trap.
Well, this Gainesville team yesterday, Andrick, absolutely routed by Berkeley Prep. As a steal made and going to the goal, they're going to call a block. You look at that Berkeley Prep and Gainesville result, surprising to you?
Not really. I mean, Berkeley Prep is a team, and these guys have been playing together for a very long time with the addition of Marshall Holmes. Though to turn up the pressure, but here, just again, long pass by Jackson. Easy run down by Devion Smith.
Devion Smith, senior forward. Just getting into the swing of things. He was one of the all-stars selected by Pinellas County. And the top wide receiver for the Tornadoes.
Look more like a back on the last possession. Reading the eyes of the quarterback and shooting the gap.
It is good, though, that we're seeing. As the ball's turned over, it'll be Clearwater basketball. So many football players, Andrew, come out and participate because in a lot of programs, we're not seeing a lot of that these days. It is definitely dwindling.
I mean, in my recent memory, this is the most football players I've ever seen play basketball as far as being here at Clearwater. You know, some schools you do see those schools sharing athletes, like Lakewood has historically done it, Boca Ciega has historically done it, but you know, here at Clearwater, a lot of it's just been basketball specialists. They want your best athletes to represent your school. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight for Clearwater.
Tabakovic shot it short. Leston was spotting up. Ramirez showed good patience. Leston kicks it out, and Tabakovic was caught underneath the board. Leston tried to hit it again. Well, he's been aggressive offensively, hasn't he? Scores again.
Tornadoes are attacking the basket and not settling for jump shots. They are being aggressive here this evening, which has allowed them to tie this ball game up.
Hurricanes coming right back, and a foul's good as Austin Graham tried to attack the rim. Carden's going to get whistled.
I think Cody Carden had the right idea. You want to make sure you cut off the baseline, but standing directly underneath the basket. I think Austin Graham was fortunate to get a foul called on that play. I'm not sure how he intended on getting that basketball through the hoop and back down.
So bodies collide right underneath the goal. And there you take a look at Austin Graham, the other superpower in that area, Andrick. Gainesville East Side, and that's where Austin Graham used to go to school. He's a transfer from there. Gainesville made the state football championships this year. They were the program for football fans that eliminated the Armwood Hawks in this recent postseason.
It was the first time, and I think was it 6 or 7 years, where Hillsborough County did not have a representative over in the state finals for football.
Something just didn't feel right in Orlando.
Pretty sure they made you feel right at home still.
Tabakovic, he can step out. 5 count is on. Hands it off now. Callaway is working it. Ryan Ramirez. See this offense, Andrick, very tough to defend whenever they work the elbows like they're doing right now.
Well, just have a good opportunity to really space out the floor because you have to respect their ability to knock down jump shots. You know, we haven't seen one fall down yet from long range.
Tough shot for Carden. Loose ball now, he'll get it right back. Tabakovic, let's see if he can handle this one. Spin move, just short. Scramble on the floor, and it's going to go over to Gainesville.
You know, I'm watching Isaiah Jackson play, and I know he has 3 turnovers so far in this contest, but you know, just on that, the last possession is a great example. I mean, he really is just a step or two ahead of even of his teammates. I mean, that no-look pass, he was looking over at Coach Carden and delivered a bounce pass on a dime here to the right wing, and his teammate wasn't expecting the pass. So that happens a lot of time. We have players that are as talented as he is. You know, no fault to his teammates, I mean, it comes with practice time. We know he's had to spend a lot of time out because he's been injured. But he's a solid basketball player.
Loose ball. Can the Tornadoes corral it here? Able to get on the deck. Callaway. Could he save it? It'll go to Clearwater. Seeing a lot of bodies on the floor here in this first half. A lot of scrambling. Not the prettiest basketball, but definitely doesn't lack effort.
Just two teams here going after. Tornadoes doing a good job of coming together on the trap and getting hands on the ball. Anthony White.
This Clearwater team just took down the Alonzo Ravens Thursday. Coach Carden was so excited after that win, but then a loss to Strawberry Crest yesterday in the semifinals as Rasim Ahmed. Nice little reverse layup, 4 points.
Ahmed understanding he's undersized in the paint, but using his body and space in the rim to prevent him getting his shot blocked.
Bounces in and out. And the Tornadoes lead for the first time. That's off the foot of Jackson. It'll be Clearwater basketball. Rasim Ahmed. Big man, Andrick, but he can move down low.
Here, Ahmed understanding Jackson's on the ball side and uses the rim to protect the basketball.
Weston left it short. 3-on-3. Wide open, Michael Henderson, and it's good. That's a three.
You expect to see a team like Gainesville, which has much more size than Tornado, will be dominating on the glass and points in the paint. It's been complete role reversal. Gainesville will knock down three-point shots, and the Clearwater Tornado is just absolutely pounding the glass.
Jordan Leston playing well in this first half. Tornadoes score again. Eric Hester, just a freshman. Jackson pulled up that time. Kicked out. Henderson couldn't hit. Easy bucket though, as Ruby Big Boyd got the follow. (24-24). Top of the key. Too strong. Here's Boyd. Knocked out of bounds, staying with Gainesville. As I was saying before the flurry of action, Clearwater fell to Strawberry Crest yesterday. Andrick, we'll see Strawberry Crest and Berkeley in our championship, but Andre Lewis has a very good team at Strawberry Crest.
Well, Coach Lewis's team's on a bit of a roll. Won 8 out of their last 9 games, but only lost coming to Sickles, and has some key returning on this year's ball club, including Devin Diggs. But here, Clearwater with just a bit of a mental lapse, and Gainesville taking advantage of it. See Ike Smith sliding down the lane.
Martin checks back into the game.
Well, Drew, not to foreshadow much, but I think we're going to be in for a treat the second game. I mean, both of these teams we're watching, they are extremely guard-oriented and like to get after it defensively. So we'll have an opportunity to see some guys flying up and down the court. Also an opportunity, I think, to see some highlight reels. A bunch of guys play above the rim, including Mr. Justin Gray.
That's Philip Bryant. He checks into the game. 6'2" senior for Gainesville. Off the deflection. Tornadoes can't put it in. Ramirez on the miss. They get it right back though, and Ahmed able to cash in.
Again, Clearwater just giving up on possessions, and typically after a missed shot, you're retreating down the floor. 3 Tornadoes stay impressed and come up with a loose ball, and yet another turnover by Gainesville.
One-on-one, Novakovic. Henderson now operating. Tornadoes bring up the defense.
Get the ball in the hands of Mr. Jackson.
Surprise, Andrick, he's got 9 points, 3 for 3 from three-point range, and has not really shot since.
Well, he hasn't come out of the game in the first half. I'm starting to wonder a little bit about his conditioning again. He didn't have a chance to participate in the fall or the summer. So you wonder how much fatigue may be a part of it. But that's a young man every time down the floor. I want to make sure he touches the ball.
Carden trying to shake free. They're doing a good job on Cody Carden, not letting him get in rhythm. Three-pointer by Eric Hester.
How about that for a freshman stepping up and knocking it down?
Now the Tornadoes turn it up defensively. Wide open from the corner, no good. Ahmed with the rebound. Under 10 seconds left to go in the half. Tornado trying to get one off. Ahmed inside. So a great finish for the Clearwater Tornadoes. As Ahmed cashes in, also Eric Hester, the freshman, getting into the act late. It's 31-26, half number 1 in the books. The consolation game of the Brighthouse Sports Network Holiday Tournament, presented by Subway Restaurants.
The Brighthouse Sports Network Game of the Week is presented by Subway Restaurants. December is Customer Appreciation Month at Subway Restaurants. Get a regular 6-ball marinara or regular 6-inch cold cut combo for only $2 each. Subway, eat fresh.
31-26, it's halftime of the consolation game of the Brighthouse Sports Network Holiday Tournament, presented by Subway Restaurants, as Clearwater leads Gainesville by 5. We welcome you back to the broadcast, everyone, alongside Andrick Frazier. I'm Drew Felios. Well, I know it's early. It's not even 2013 yet, but it's never too early to talk about the teams, Andrick, that we like most to perhaps represent the Tampa Bay area at the Lakeland Center.
No, Drew, I'm not pulling out my crystal ball or making any predictions here, but I think we have a good chance this year. 4 quality teams out of our area advance to Lakeland and play again, for a state title. And you really have to start out, I think, with right across the bay, Coach Joe Philin and the Tampa Prep Terrapins coming off his most successful season ever. A team that completed the season with only 1 loss to a tough Lake Wales team, which I think was probably the best team in the state. And Josh Heath returning. That's going to be a pretty tough ball club to beat. Then I have to tip my hat off to Coach Fred McGriff. He took his pound in the last 2 years from Lake Wales, but this is a ball club that is eerily similar to the team he had in 2010 that won it all. Group of young guys who've stayed together over the course of the last 3 years, and they've continued to get better, and they're led by who's one of the top big men in the Southeast. And then a team we're going to see here tonight, and Coach Bobby Reinhardt and Berkeley Prep. Coach Reinhardt has built a program now at Berkeley Prep. It's not just a basketball team, and historically they've gotten better and better. Last year got over the hump, made it to the state Final Four, has Justin Graves, one of the most dynamic juniors in all of the country, not just in Florida. And then you add the addition of Marshall Holmes to that ball club, and offensively they can play with a lot of teams here in the state. And then lastly, Jesuit and Neil Goldman. This is a team last year that a lot of people expected to make it over to Lakeland, but for some odd reason they had to travel down 60 and face a team in Lake Wales, and they were just completely. So you have a bunch of players on that ball club that were embarrassed about that loss last year, and they want to redeem themselves, and they're coming off a huge victory, beat St. Petersburg last night by almost 50 points and winning a tournament over here across the bay. So those are my 4 this year. Guys, if you hear me out there, please don't disappoint me. I love to be doing your games in March.
Is there room on that graphic for the Tampa Catholic Crusaders? I say that because Chavarsky Corbett, a junior this year, put up 50 last night against Cardinal Mooney, and right now this team clicking on all cylinders.
Well, Coach Don DeZagua's Balls Club has an opportunity to make a very big statement tonight, playing Tampa Prep in the City of Tampa Championship Final, actually taking place in about an hour and a half. So that's another ball club, but hey, Tampa Catholic and Berkeley Prep can't both make it. They're in the same district and in the same region, so that's a team that may have an opportunity to face each other 4 times this year.
All right, we're at halftime here, the consolation game of the Brighthouse Sports Network Holiday Tournament. 31-26 your score, and we're back after this. $36-21 is your score from here at the Jack L. Wilson Gymnasium. Clearwater over Gainesville after 1 half of play, and for Gainesville, their star player came out shooting.
Well, it's really been about the outside in, and Mr. Jackson right now has been at the three-point line, 3 for 3 in the first half, all 9 of his points coming from beyond the arc.
And once Jackson cooled down, Clearwater goes inside, and it was number 34, Rasim Ahmed, cashing in, taking advantage. They really delivered the basketball to him, though, in great spots, and he took it right to the goal.
Well, the undersized post player is showing you just why he's one of Carton's favorite players. Gritty, hard, knows, understand how to use his body in the paint to get to the glass.
Take a look at the story. Anything stand out for you after half number 1?
Well, really the big thing there, I mean, the rebounds are misleading, 15 to 13 for Gainesville, but a majority of those for Clearwater have come on the offensive glass. So their ability to attack the offensive glass and get easy baskets in the paint is the reason why really they're leading this contest by 5.
This team has miffed Coach Carton so far about midway through the season. Are you seeing anything that could be tweaked with this Clearwater team so far after one half of play?
Well, really for him is can they sustain what they've done so far, is the ability to attack the glass, come up with those hustle plays, you know, get some turnovers, grab charges. They haven't shown the ability to knock the ball down from the outside yet, and they really haven't been sped up, which is the other thing. They're playing at their pace. So can they dictate tempo? If they dictate tempo, I really like that guy with the red jacket over here to my right in a street day head-to-head against coaches in this area.
All right, Coach Carton trying to defend the home court against Gainesville. The Tornadoes and Hurricanes, second half from Clearwater after this. All right, we're getting back into the basketball swing of things. Clearwater and Gainesville, the Brighthouse Sports Network Holiday Tournament presented by Subway Restaurants. There's the visitors, Kelly Beckham and the Gainesville Hurricanes, 7-3 coming in here to this consolation game. You can tell it's been a frustrating season for them. Life of a basketball coach, Andrew.
I always wonder why these guys gray and lose their hair so soon. So you have to come here and watch them on a nightly basis. It'll definitely take some years off your life. How about this? Coach Carr going to elect to take some air out of the basketball, make Gainesville come out and guard them man-to-man, not allowing them to sit back in the zone. This may be the quickest second half we've ever done.
Tornado's going to make Gainesville, at least make them think about coming out of that zone. And look, it works. Isaiah Jackson just picked the pocket there, and now Mark McGraw. Jackson, first shot he's taken in quite a while. Couldn't hit. Right back up and in. Ike Smith, and he'll shoot one.
Gainesville elected to be patient on the defensive end, and just a really bad turnover for the Tornadoes, Derek Callaway. But you know, here, Gainesville eating up the offensive glass. Ike Smith coming up with an opportunity for a three-point fashion way.
So Smith makes it a two-point game. Coach Carton teaching his youngster, Derek Callaway, on the job. Another turnover. Isaiah Jackson stopped right in the lane. And Gainesville's rattled off 5 points here to start the third quarter.
This 1-3-1 zone really is giving Clearwater fits because of the length of Gainesville right now. The hands, the ability to get and deflect passes created 2 turnovers.
Baseline. Ramirez, that's Ryan Ramirez. He's got 8 points.
Ramirez, the toughest shot in basketball. Short corner jump shot.
Cody Carton has 3 assists here today. Nice move, Mark McGraw. Easy bucket. Ramirez, reverse. Five of 7 from the field for Ramirez, and that's a bad pass. Michael Henderson just couldn't handle it.
Not sure about a bad pass, but Mr. Henderson, God gave you 2 hands for a reason. Go up there and snag it.
Is that what you used to tell your shooting guard, Andrick, or your power forward? Sorry, I hit you right in the hands.
Hey, if the ball hits your hands, you're supposed to catch it. And that's pretty much physics. No, I mean, a lot of high school players make that mistake, not only of catching the basketball with one hand, but also passing the basketball with one hand. You have to be fundamentally sound using both hands. Get stuck watching these guys on TV, not understanding that, you know, the wingspan from their pinky to their thumb is 10 inches, which allows them to catch the ball.
That was the first bucket of the game for Cody Carden. Now traveling called as McCray hit the deck, still had the ball in his hands. The violation goes over to Clearwater now. So finally Carden gets in the scoring column. Interesting, because I just don't know if Clearwater can have success in the long haul if Carden doesn't score a lot. In their better games, he has scored high numbers as Ahmed puts another one in. He's got 12. Gainesville will call a timeout. But for Clearwater, do you think it's a big deal if scores? Because he's the most natural basketball player on this team with so many football guys. Is it that imperative, Andrick, that 21 scores double digits?
I think it's just more imperative for him really to control the basketball game, and I think he's doing that right now by drawing all the attention to him from Gainesville, which has allowed for some of his teammates to get open. I mean, every time he touches the basketball, all 5 sets of eyes are on him. They've been denying him on a lot of the plays, you know, hard denials, which allows for dribble penetration because this guy cannot help. You know, here's a prime situation on this last play. Carden's the one that passed the basketball over and giving it away from the double team. And Clearwater handling the pressure, and Ramirez to Ahmed for the easy 2.
So this is a Clearwater team, Andrick, that is completely different from the ones we've seen in the past. Usual teams that we've seen, they have lived with the three-point shot. This team, it's more penetration, it's more Carden setting guys up, Ahmed filling the lanes, and Sandy really being the enforcer down low.
And I really hope people don't take this the wrong way, but what you're watching here is Carden at Pinellas Park 6-7 years ago. I mean, honestly, he does not have the kids on this team that have the skill level of what we're used to seeing of the Luke Lauks and our Kura Whites. I mean, those high mid-major Division I type players. So now he's having to bring young kids in and teach them the game of basketball. So this is what you're seeing right now. This team next year will be completely different once they've had some time to work on their skills. You know, Cody will be a senior. You know, Ahmed will be back as a junior, if I'm not mistaken. So they're going to get better. Right now, they just do not have the type of personnel where you can put the basketball in one player's hand and ask him to give you 35 a night.
Ahmed whistled for the foul. Mark McGraw now heads to the line. McGraw moving up from the junior varsity team last year. First free throw good. Gainesville team also, we've talked so much about Clearwater, but Coach Beckham really wants his team to be more selfish with the basketball. So unselfish that at times, Andrick, they don't end up taking the right shots. And I think we've seen it a little bit with Isaiah Jackson. The hot start, but really stopped shooting after that in the first half.
Well, this is a team in Gainesville I like to see play with a little more energy. You know, because they don't have a player on their team listed underneath 6 foot. They are long, they're athletic, they can get up after people and create turnovers, but they have to play with this type of energy.
2-on-1. Couldn't get it to go, but right back up and in. It's Ike Smith, and Smith has points and 3 boards. Leston, sloppy, had it knocked away. 3-on-2 now. Make it 4-on-2. Anderson couldn't hit the runner. Off of Leston, and Gainesville will keep it.
Gainesville has forced 5 turnovers so far in this quarter, and they've scored off of every single one. Clearwater here extending out their 2-3 zone, actually.
McGraw, that lane's open, kicks it out. Jackson, got Carden on him. It's a 2-3 zone by the Tornadoes. Let's see if Gainesville tries to shoot over it.
That's the shot you want.
Ike Smith, top of the key, couldn't hit. Jackson will draw the foul. Ramirez came over on the hack.
Well, just the patience offensively for Gainesville allows them to get to the free throw line in this situation. And even though it was a 3-point shot that was missed by Ike Smith, so you see the ball gets to short corner. You look opposite, it's a wide open look. But because all eyes are on him and now coming to the glass, it gave Jackson an opportunity to come up with the offensive rebound.
Kester checks in for the Tornadoes. Jordan Leston has a seat. Both free throws down for Isaiah Jackson.
Gainsville picking up the tempo, man-to-man, full-court pressure.
Kevin Boland. Ramirez at the elbow, had it poked away.
You remember during the first half where Clearwater was really allowed to just run offense and dictate the shots they wanted. Here you can see Gainesville trying to speed them up, get them out of their comfort zone, trapping when they have the opportunity, forcing them to make decisions quicker than they normally would.
And a timeout going to be called. Coach Carden will talk this over. Had a chance to talk to Coach Carden in studio and also on the radio this past week. Both of his sons playing college basketball. Cody playing on this Clearwater Tornadoes team, and then Colby Carden, a heck of a basketball player as well, playing right now in middle school. This Carden family just eats, sleeps, and breathes basketball.
Really makes things easy for a coach when your kids really love what you're doing and it becomes a family affair. Enjoy coming over here during the holiday season and watching all the Cardens parade in and out.
Had Cam Carden, his oldest son, and Corey Carden kind of telling their father last night at the dinner table after the game, Dad, you may have to adjust the way you coach just a little bit with this particular. Now, Andrick, all coaches have systems and ways of doing things, but sometimes you got to adjust just a little bit to your personnel. I think that's what he's learned to do.
As a high school coach, you have to adjust a lot. I mean, it's not like college where you have an opportunity to recruit the players that fit into your scheme. You really have to be able to, one, coach the fundamentals of what you want to do, but depending on your type of personnel, you may press, you may not press.
McCray hit the three. Ramirez running the other way, had it knocked away. And it's 42-40. Gainesville, with that bucket, regains the lead here in the second half.
Jackson again, ability to get to the paint, and then how about the ball movement on the other? Gainesville, Mike McCray knocking down one from long range.
Sandy up top, handed it off. They punch it inside. Ramirez couldn't hang on.
Another turnover by the Tornadoes.
Isaiah Jackson passed up the shot again. McCray off the side of the backboard, and now Clearwater, as we approach 2 minutes, has a chance to tie this game and possibly retake the lead. Turnover right there. Coach Carden just winces. He goes immediately to his bench as Anthony White gets up off the pine.
Coach Carden's trying to find a way to get rid of the turnover bug right here. It's spreading like the plague.
That's Devion Smith also into the game. Senior forward. Right now you got Eric Kester, Cody Carden, Rasim Ahmed, Devion Smith, and Anthony White for the Tornadoes. Up and in. Mike McCray scores again. He's got 10 points.
Well, Ahmed is guarding Jackson on the other end. That is a clear mismatch. They have to make sure they get Jackson the basketball every time down the floor.
Ahmed had it rejected, but a foul's called. Ike Smith defensively gonna get whistled.
Jackson here with at least 4 inches over Ahmed, not forcing the issue, but just being extremely patient because he is such a high-profile player. Clearwater caught with all eyes on him, and a good backdoor cut by Mike McCray.
Rasim Ahmed just excellent at the free throw line. Shoots 80% from the stripe. Only a sophomore. This young man's got a lot of basketball in front of him. A great lower body. That's why he's such an outstanding football player. Look at those calves, Andrick. He's got some big legs. Very useful in the sport of basketball. Look at that. Do you have calves like that?
No comment, Drew.
Jackson. Just calling what I see.
I see. I understand. No, Ahmed does have a very good lower body. I mean, you talk about having hips and a backside, which allows you to sit down and establish post position. And we've seen him been able to take advantage of that so far in this contest.
Jackson, stutter step. Looked like he wanted to elevate on that one. Devion Smith comes out of there with it.
Those are the type of athletic plays we were used to seeing Jackson make last year. Wonder if more of that's mental or physical, not being able to go up in the paint and explode and finish it.
Yeah, Jackson, if you're wondering, last year, undercut last season, Andrick, shattered his tibia and his fibula, so broke his leg after a horrible accident. You can see just not quite the same aggression when he attacks the rim.
Yeah, that's definitely a play there. You know, 1 or 2 dribbles, jump stop, and elevate at 6'6". We're going to understand what type of game he wants to play. If not, you come to control, jump stop, shoot the little baby jumper. You know, if I'm a scout and I'm watching this game today, and there's no doubt that Isaiah Jackson can play at the next level, but the questions I ask myself is, from what I've seen so far today, what position is he going to play? Is he a 1 or is he a 2? If he's a 2, does he have the ability to get to the paint and finish? You know, can he draw fouls? Can he shoot a mid-range jump shot? If he is a point guard, does he have the ability to get to the paint and create plays for other people? I mean, so far we've seen him play more of a point forward position, which is fine here at the high school level at 6'6". But this is a young man that's going to have some time to, again, understand how he wants to do the game, especially after that severe injury last year, and solidify, you know, his spot in the Florida rankings.
Out of bounds. A good idea off the bench by Ronti Oates. That's the 13th turnover for the Gainesville Hurricanes. 31, added some gray hairs to Coach Kelly Beckham. 43 seconds left to go in this third quarter. Entertaining basketball game we got here. Only 1 field goal on the Cody Card. Trying to shake free. Mike McCray is all over him. Callaway now. As the inexperience handling the basketball. Coming up to bite the Tornadoes. 10.5 seconds left. And a foul's going to be whistled.
Well, Gainesville really has turned up the pressure cook on the defensive end, especially in the half court. Clearwater's not doing a good job really of creating space, especially with the dribble and running their offense, to take advantage of the aggressiveness of Gainesville.
Final 10 seconds of this third quarter. Ruby Bit Boyd on the runner. And the Hurricanes try to get one more shot off. They wanted a foul call. Ronti Oates went up with it, but no whistle to end the third quarter. 46-42 is your score. One more quarter. The consolation game of this Brighthouse Sports Network Holiday Tournament presented by Subway Restaurants.
The Brighthouse Sports Network Game of the Week is presented by Subway Restaurants. December is Customer Appreciation Month at Subway Restaurants. Get a regular 6-inch meatball marinara or regular 6-inch cold cut combo for only $2 each. Subway, eat fresh.
Well, there you see our next team getting ready to play in the championship of this Brighthouse Sports Network Holiday Tournament. That would be the Berkeley Buccaneers and their Strawberry Crest. The Chargers also waiting. 46-42 here after 3 quarters. Gainesville and Clearwater. And a third quarter owned by the Hurricanes. They out outscored Clearwater in that session, Andrick, by 9 points.
It all started on the defensive end, and how about the Clearwater Tornadoes? A little role reversal right here to begin the fourth quarter. Davion Smith, great ball pressure.
And the Tornadoes now will turn up the heat as Ahmed goes to the bench to have his full court, man-to-man.
I'm not sure if I'm understanding this one too. Isaiah Jackson right now getting a breather. He's gonna have to get on the floor as soon as possible if Florida keeps up the pressure.
McGraw from the elbow. There's that unorthodox shot that Coach Beckham was talking about. Gainesville by 6. Anthony White trying to make something happen. Only 5'9", senior point guard for the Tornadoes. Leston tried the baseline, but just got caught up. Tornadoes got to be careful here. Traveling call. Coach Beckham's had a chance to coach some pretty special players, Hendrick, when you talk about guys like Greg Gant, now at Florida Atlantic, likely to become the all-time leading scorer, the history of the school. And TJ Hall, who for Ohio helped them to the NCAA tournament run last year.
Make a run. I mean, that was a team that took down my Bulls in the 3rd round and gave North Carolina all they had in the Sweet 16.
Ramirez, nicely done. Oh, that's great patience. He caught the ball in a bad spot, but still found a way to put it in. He's got 12.
Using the shot fake to create space.
McCray draws a foul. Carden gonna get whistled again.
Again, you see his ability just to shot fake and the right hand to come up with the easy bucket. Nice package or cut. You have to finish.
Right back up and in, Ike Smith. He's got 9. Clearwater started the season 5-0. 3 of those wins over 20 points. But since then, it has been tough sledding. Carden from the corner. May have been deflected. Now Gainesville starting to run. Carden on the deck and able to come up with it. Still a 6-point game, 2-on-1. Ramirez couldn't hit. Jackson coming back. Again, Isaiah Jackson passes up a shot.
Yeah, that's one if I'm Isaiah Jackson. I mean, you have to shoot the photo on that and make it with an easy bucket.
Ahmed playing tough down there. Jackson with it now. Looks up at the clock. Let's see if he tries to create for himself here. And threw it away. I think when Coach Beckham says sometimes we're a little too unselfish, that right there is what he's talking about.
Jackson, again, I mean, has an opportunity to get to the floor and pick his spots. I mean, he can get anywhere he wants to with the dribble. You know, it's just get into it, can make that dribble, explode, pop up, and knock down a mid-range jump shot.
Well, after that broken leg injury, he had a rod placed in his leg. You can imagine what that must feel like in the sport of basketball when it is all about cutting and jumping and use your legs more than any other body part.
I'll tell you what, his basketball IQ is off the charts. So I like to see a young man get to a point where he's confident in that leg be able to make the plays that he was used to making before the injury.
Lake Highland and Berkeley Prep, at 10 p.m. Ahmed off the glass. He's got 16 points. I really like his game. McGraw. Jackson pumps. Now will take it and hit. 13 points for Isaiah Jackson. Tomakovic has not gotten to the scoring column until right there.
It's a big time pull up on that possession.
52-48. Which team is going to give in here? Along the baseline, Jackson's going to be fouled.
It's important to note for the rest of the way that Gainesville will be shooting the 1-and-1 bonus, but Tomakovic there with the pull-up jumper.
And the game just for the Tornadoes. So number 12 checks in, playing center. And sneaking right in and scoring was Mark McGraw.
Jackson's just so good with the basketball. In his eyes. His ability to just move defenders with his eyes.
Ramirez being harassed up top. Now Carden lobs it up. Reed couldn't handle it. And it goes out of bounds to Gainesville. So Justice Reed into the game. We're number 12 for Clearwater, one of the top recruits next season in the Inter Bay area. Andrew, he just got back from a recruiting trip to the University of Florida. He is a big-time player on the gridiron. Right there, the forward got behind him, and Reed had to come over to commit the foul to stop the bucket.
You definitely see the athletic ability on that play. Here again, Gainesville just attacking the basket, finally not settling for jump shots.
There's Sandy coming back into the game. Constant substitutions here in the second half. Kevin Boland at the line. Seven-point game. 5 for Boland. And now we're under 4 minutes.
Gainesville will sit back in this zone and force Clearwater to knock down some shots from the outside, but they haven't been very accurate so far this evening.
Timeout going to be called by Coach Carden. So he can talk this over. Hey, we got tons of basketball coming up. Mark this day on your calendar. January 5th, where a quadruple header awaits. Are you going to be calling all those games, Mr. Frazier?
If so, McCulley better have my throat lozenges ready. I think we're going to do a little ping pong that day. We'll be going back and forth between the Orlando viewing area and also our viewing area over here. So action-packed games, and highlighted by the 10 o'clock game where the returning reigning Gatorade Florida Player of the Year, Joel, bringing his highlight reel show over to Berkeley Prep, and we'll have an opportunity to break in that unbelievable facility that Berkeley Prep has finished erecting. Cannot wait.
I hope you get paid double for that, huh?
Hey, well, not double, just something. Just to be in your mere presence is pay enough for me, Drew.
That's what I thought. Ramirez playing catch with Carden. Now a long shot taken. Hester couldn't get it to fall. Ryan Ramirez played well here today. Ahmed couldn't handle it. And a critical turnover for Clearwater.
Gainesville needs to understand that they're ahead in this ball game. Be patient with their passes to basketball. Force Clearwater to guard. The shooting bonus the rest of the way, but they've done a pretty good job at the free throw line. long as the ball's in that young man's hands, they should feel good about their chances in the contest.
Deflected, and now a steal. Sandy and Ramirez come up with it.
2 lazy lob passes back to back. Gainesville fortunate enough to get away with the first one, not so fortunate on the second.
Schaefer Sandy. Clearwater needs a bucket, and he scores. Schaefer Sandy's got 6 points, 3 rebounds. The lead's 5 for Gainesville. Whip pass. Oh, nearly a turnover. Now we're at 2 minutes. And a 30-second timeout going to be called by Kelly Beckham. He has been running up and down that sideline over the past few minutes. Stressing to his team right now, Andrew, take care of the basketball.
And I sure hope that young man stretches before games and Coach Beckham, because if not, he's going to pull something the way he's getting up and down the sideline. But I really urging his players, they have to foul us. We're in the 1-and-1. Take care of the basketball. You can't stand up straight-legged. Clock's your friend right now. Utilize it.
Next week, Andrew, this team is going to head down to Ocala, or up to Ocala, playing the Kingdom of the Sun tournament. Tell basketball fans what that tournament is all about.
One of the most prestigious tournaments held here in the state of Florida for years. And Coach Jack Haley over at Ocala Vanguard brought the Kingdom of the Sun to Ocala. And just some of the names, basketball names across Florida history that have played in that tournament, including Tony Mack, Russell Evans, of course, Clearwater numerous times, the Gibbs teams from the early 90s. So, before the internet and the glitz and glamour of the Nike and the Adidas showcases and, kind of some of the things that are done at the high school level to get these kids to play in these high-profile tournaments, that was the tournament to go to if you were a team in the state of Florida. Before the days of the Brighthouse Sports Network shootout.
That's right. Talk about prestige. Ike Smith now at the line for Gainesville. Now critical free throws. He's got 9 points tonight. Averages just over 12 on the year. Had a big game in that first outing of this tournament against Nature Coast. And here cashes in one in a critical situation. 4 of 4 tonight from the line for Ike Smith.
Well, this is a good-looking sophomore, 6'2", 170 pounds. Has a nice, strong body. I love his stroke and his form. He tends to understand the game. Not going to leave the cupboard bare. And you think about his progression over the summer and having a backcourt that Ike Smith and Isaiah Jackson. If you can't get far this year, you have to like your chances if you're a Hurricane fan next year.
90 seconds left to go. Jordan Leston in Clearwater. Got to cash one in here. Trailing by 7.
Clearwater taking a lot of time, and Coach Carr is not liking what he's seeing here. Probably going to have to call a set play here on the side out of bounds to make sure he can get a shot up.
For the Tornadoes, Rasim Ahmed is the top scorer. He's got 16 points. Garden only has 3 points. Garden had a very busy summer. Went to camps at Florida, Florida State, and USF. Also played in the AAU circuit, Andrick. Had a great time. Really impressed playing great basketball.
They're going to need him to play some great basketball in this last minute and 18 seconds if they want a shot at winning tonight's contest. And here, understanding the rule of high school basketball, unlike college, underneath the minute, the clock does not stop on made buckets. So Coach Gardner has to be very judicious in not only his timeouts, but the foul situation. An opportunity for him to get the ball going towards the basket to try to get fouled and stop the clock. Allows you to shoot free throws and actually sub in the personnel that you want on the defensive end. So still a lot of time left in this contest.
There's the numbers on Ahmed. He's found a way to operate against a much bigger Gainesville front line. Clearwater now taking their time just a bit. Derek Callaway and company got to hurry up. Carden will fire up a bomb. That's not the shot they wanted. And Gainesville now controls. A jump ball, though, and a great job by Schaefer Sandy to tie it up. Possession Clearwater.
Schaefer Sandy must watch Drew Velios play in the Y Leagues there. It's a definite Drew Velios move right here. Just let me stick it. Ball, 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 ball. Jump ball.
Got to be able to do something right.
Heads up play by Sandy.
My basketball game is great, Andrick, except my shot not quite what it, my dribbling is not quite what it was. My vert is pretty much gone.
And you're calling that great?
Sandy has it rejected. Ike Smith now controlling for Gainesville. Long pass, wide open other end. As Kevin Boland lays it in. And now it's a 9-point game.
Easiest assist and bucket we've seen tonight for Jackson the bowler.
Carden's gonna have to fire it up and hits a three. It may be too little too late though. 59-53. Clearwater as a team, get this, 2 of 7 for the game. Carden himself, excuse me, 2 of 7 for the game, but just 3-pointers all around. I can't think of many more players. Only 13 total shots now. Our producer Chris McCauley lets us know. 3 of 13 total from 3-point range for Clearwater.
They haven't had a eagle's eye from behind the arc, and especially playing at home, you expect them to shoot the basketball a little better, but you have to credit also the Gainesville defense. With their length, they do not give you a lot of open opportunities for easy looks, and a lot of those shots have come out of the stress. You know, in the first half, they were able to run offense and get to the paint and get the buckets they needed and also attack the offensives. And in the second half, Gainesville has just made a commitment to sit down and guard in the stands and have not given up a lot of easy looks.
Well, Clearwater shot 23% from beyond the 3-point mark. Gainesville is 5 of 12, 42% from that distance. But Gainesville really turned up the defensive intensity in the second half. That's why they're leading by 6 right now.
Clearwater's got the ball comes in on this possession.
McGraw. Oh, looked like he traveled. No whistle. Carden wanted that one.
Too much time off the clock.
Got a foul here, and they do.
Too much time off the clock. I mean, Clearwater has to foul as soon as that ball comes in. They don't have an opportunity for a steal.
Andrick, not only did they foul late, but they fouled the player who has not missed today from the line. Ike Smith is 5 for 5.
I really like Ike Smith, especially the sophomore. Again, I mean, talk about his size. You know, he's really played under control. Haven't seen a lot of emotion.
It's that free throw, though. Clearwater's got to get points in a hurry. Final 10 seconds. Carden. 3-pointer, no good. And that should do it. Mark McGraw going to be whistled. He's going to shoot on the other end. And Gainesville is going to leave this Brighthouse Sports Network Holiday Tournament with a 3rd place accolade to their name.
You know, Coach Gardner, an eerily familiar place to last season. An opportunity to slips out of his hands, and for the 2nd year in a row, 2 losses in his home tournament.
Very good free throw shooting by Gainesville here in this game. McGraw 5 of 6 from the line. Final possession for the Tornadoes. The shot no good, and Clearwater will lose another tough one. 60-53 is your final score. So when we come back, we'll talk to our player of the game, Isaiah Jackson of Gainesville. Coach Carden will also chime in when we come back to Jack Wilson Gymnasium. Back here, the end of the consolation game for the 2012 Brighthouse Sports Network Holiday Tournament. Gainesville wins 60-53 over host Clearwater. Alongside Andrick Frazier, I'm Drew Felios, and Isaiah Jackson joins us here in the pit. He is our player of the game, 13 points. Way to get it done. Way to come to Clearwater and take care of business. Tell us about the road back to being healthy for all you've been through over the past year.
Just working hard. I got a good coach who I work out with all the time. So me and my boy Eric, we go in the gym, shoot a lot of shots, and work on strength. And basically, I just want to get back to 100% so I can carry my team.
In the first quarter, you hit 3 3-pointers. We're playing exceptionally well. And Isaiah, it looked like you kind of backed up a little bit offensively and were way more selective throughout the rest of the game. Is it part of your game to just let the game come to you more?
Yeah, I try to get everybody else involved instead of just me, so everybody will have a groove. And I just try to carry everybody, they help me, I help them. So that's about it. Everybody work hard, and we just try to get the job done.
Now, Isaiah, you definitely are a skilled basketball player. Talked about 13 points, but 6 rebounds, 4 assists. I think you played all but 1 minute. You know, Coach gave you a little breather at the beginning of the fourth quarter. But the difference in this contest, I thought, was the way you guys came out defensively in the third quarter.
Yeah.
What things were said at the half to kind of make you guys pick up your energy?
We was playing soft towards the second quarter, and Coach just basically got on us and told us we need to play harder on defense and be more selective on our shots on offense, because we were the better team. We just had to work hard and get the job done like we were supposed to. So everybody played hard, and we came out with a victory. So.
Isaiah, thank you. What next for this team? Can you be in Lakeland at the end of the year?
Yeah, we should be. It's a high chance. So, yeah, we got it.
All right, congratulations, Isaiah Jackson. Have a happy holiday, will you?
All right, y'all too.
Okay, 13 points for Jackson, leading his team today against Clearwater as Gainesville gets a 7-point win over the Tornadoes in the consolation game of the Brighthouse Sports Network Holiday Tournament. Isaiah Jackson has now left the pit. We're going to coach Alan Carden in here right now. Clearwater's head coach as the Tornadoes fall now to 7-6 on the season. But throughout the course of this game, Coach, saw a lot of bright spots for your team. You led at the half by 5. Jordan Leston did some good things, and Rasim Ahmed was exceptional playing down low.
You know, I've got nothing but praise for our kids today. I'm real proud after getting blown out last night. The kids came out and really were playing hard. I was real proud of their effort. They executed and took care of the basketball, and I think that's what made a big, big difference. And I saw some intensity and some effort out there, and a lot of enthusiasm on the bench too. And just, you know, we got some effort out of a lot of kids. So disappointing loss because we had a chance to win that, but just a little bit too much athleticism and skill for Gainesville.
Coach Carr, you talk about athleticism and skill. I mean, you've been blessed, you know, the last 4 or 5 years so to have some really talented players play for you. It seems like this year you're getting a different type of kid that wants to play for you. I have not seen this many football players on a Clearwater Tornado basketball team since I played high school basketball.
Well, you know, the two-sport athlete has kind of fell by the wayside. You know, so I'm very proud of the fact that we got kids that play multiple sports. Now, you know, from a coaching standpoint, you want to have all your kids all the time, but you never want to deny a kid a chance to play multiple sports and everything. And I think it's a great thing for high school athletics. Now, it shows a little bit early on, but hopefully by the end of the year, those kids will be rounded off into playing shape.
You know, it's interesting, too, to see how your team plays when your son doesn't score as many points as he usually is used to scoring. He had 6 here today. Do you want more point production out of him?
Well, it's kind of a double-edged sword. You know, since Cody has to play the point, you know, it takes a little bit away from his scoring ability. I thought he forced a couple of shots tonight, but it's just we need to get scoring out of him. But I thought he played a very good floor game and played very hard. I really loved the diving on the floor at the end of the end of there to get a possession back. But, yeah, we need him to knock down shots. But, again, he puts a lot of pressure on himself because he has to do so much for us.
Coach, we'll see you at halftime of our championship game.
Yes, you know, and I'd like to say thank you for having this tournament. You know, it's just an unbelievable thing. I really wish more people understand how good this is and come out and pack this gym out and everything. But, you know, I can't thank Brighthouse and Channel 47 enough for having this at Clearwater High School every year.
Outstanding. Coach Carden, thank you so much. There's your final score, 60-53. Final thoughts, Andrick Frazier.
Well, once again, we've been blessed to come over to Clearwater, you know, spend a day here with you, Drew, and watch some outstanding basketball, you know, and Coach Garden continues to do a great job to recruit not only the best teams here from our viewing area, but get a couple teams that we normally would not see. And this Gainesville ball club, I think, once they start to get some pieces to come together, you know, with Isaiah Jackson and Ike Smith, that's a pretty good nucleus for a ball club. And Coach Garden has nothing to hang his head about. I think he hit the nail right on the head. He has football players that are out here that are still getting into basketball shape. It's only been a month removed for some of those guys from football. So as they start to understand what's needed for them on the court, he gets more mental time with these guys. He's going to be right where he needs to be coming into January, beginning of February, where the games really matter. All the records are 0-0 when those first 6 games key off, and that's all that matters.
Yep, absolutely. All right, now the championship game is coming up at 8 o'clock as we will have Berkeley Prep. They're taking on Strawberry Crest. It's Chargers against Buccaneers, not in the NFL, but in high school basketball, and it should be an outstanding contest. Wait till you see this Berkeley Prep basketball team. But for now, we're going to sign off from Jack Wilson Gymnasium as the Tornadoes fall by 7, 60-53. For Frazier, for producer Chris McCauley and the rest of the Brighthouse Sports Network crew, I'm Drew Felios. Gainesville improves to 8-3 on the season. Next time, so long from Clearwater.